Welcome everybody to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili, and on this day in rock, November 25th, 1984, Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid was being recorded and would be released on December 5th or December 3rd in a week or so from the recording. And before I get into this, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this video, share this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for updates. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about this single. Now, side A is Do They Know It's Christmas. It's remixed by Trevor Horn. Side B is the regular standard mix of Do They Know It's Christmas and Feed the World. And Feed the World was just an instrumental track and would have artists that couldn't make it to this session. Now the session has a bunch of people in it, who's who of back in the day in England. Okay, so the Feed the World instrumental tracks, so the people that couldn't make it would be like David Bowie, Holly from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Paul McCartney, so they'll just kind of ring in and go, oh, this is Paul McCartney saying Feed the World, ha ha ha, kind of thing. And, my thoughts on this was really different from when I was a kid and hearing it, and then when I was older and listening to it, I just was like against this. It was just like, because I was really into these bands like Duran Duran and because they're all in here, and Sting is of the Police is here, U2 is here, so this is so 84, so yeah, Duran Duran is pretty popular at that time, with the Seven and the Ragged Tiger era, and U2 was like on the Unforgettable Fire era, and so the Police were just gone through their synchronicity thing. And so you also have people here like Phil Collins on the drums, Bananarama, some American people, Kool and the Gang, Culture Club, okay, so yeah, this was a Christmas song to raise money for famine relief in Ethiopia. That's why they have these little kids right there. And so here's this whole Christmas scene where everything is all good, and then this is down there, and Chumbawamba had this album they called Pictures of Starving Children on albums, or sell albums, on covers, sell albums, because there was sort of just like some criticisms towards this, so Morrissey, who was not invited from the Smiths, who wasn't invited to the session, he was like, oh, Band Aid is the most diabolical session or song or project, and the song is tuneless, and it was like the most gigantic self-righteous platform ever, and it's just it's sort of that's how I look at it now, and the song itself is just it's all kind of doom and gloom, like it's a world of dread and fear is what they're singing about, is what one of the lines. And do they know it's Christmas? No, I don't think they do. Oh yes, and Bob Geldof wrote this song from the Boomtown Rats, and I think at that time they were starting to be very idealistic, in the 80s, and I think maybe in some point it's viewed upon as, okay, well, it's something to really think about and try to do something for these starving children or people in general, but I think it's from, if you look at the origin from where we are now, and how artists or recording artists and film stars and everybody else like that, they tend to feel like they seem to not just virtue signal, but just sort of just like they and I don't know about shaming people into but the whole self-righteous bit, and they're gonna be preaching to you about things that they don't even understand, or what I mean. It's just but I think at this point when they were doing this. I think it is sort of maybe their heart was in the right place and whatnot. It says many thanks to all the fine artists who kindly donated their time and effort in the making of this record. But yeah, it's usually played around this time and the Christmas season. But I mean, listening to it in itself, it doesn't have a feeling of Christmas as far as, you know, something joyful or something, you know. It's pretty dreary, you know, as a Christmas song. And so I mean, now I just kind of look at it like a novelty thing, you know. But what it did though is that it's started off all these other kind of projects like We Are the World. So America was doing their thing, and Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie started writing their song, and they got all the American people, artists, and you know, they had to do it better than these guys. They get like Bob Dylan, they get Stevie Wonder, they get some great people and everything. Prince declined, you know, he just didn't, he wanted to play lead guitar in there, but they wouldn't. Lionel Richie was saying like, no, I'll put you in the front with next to Michael, and then he just hung up. He said, no, I'm not going. But he did donate a song to the album, and that was the only reason why I got it. Because you know, these things became very kind of like everyone was doing it. Then Bryan Adams in Canada had one, and then even Dio and Heavy Metal did the hearing aid, and they got all the people. I mean, it just became this whole let's save the world thing, and it was getting kind of nauseating after a while. And then the whole Live Aid thing, and none of the money that or the food didn't even get to the people. It ended up being stuck on the docks, and you know, it was just a big mess, you know. And the thing about this though, Band-Aid, is just like they kept on doing it again. They have one, and I didn't even really notice, and they had a Band-Aid 20, like 20 years later, and so a bunch of new artists come in, and they sing the song. Some of the older people that were on this one return, like Bono, but then you got like people like from Coldplay, Chris Martin singing, and so they would do this like, and there was a Band-Aid 30, and you know what I mean? So there's just like, they kept, I didn't even know that, you know, it's just like, it was news to me. I was like, wow. It's like, the first song was bad enough. Let's not do any more, you know. And but I think at this time, for the, you know, like I said, I mean, I felt like it was, I think it was kind of their heart was in the right place, but at the same time, there was a lot of publicity in doing this thing. You know, they may say they donated their time, but you know what? This video was being played a lot, and you know, George Michael, all these people, Boy George, you know what I mean, they're all singing on this song, and you know, it's still making their album sell too. So it you know, it's like they know what they were doing too. I mean, it's a good I guess it was a good promotional tool to use this, and because at first it wouldn't be, you can't really look at it going like, well, that's a bad thing they're doing. But I mean, you know what I mean. It's sort of just, well, but that's why I mean, like, maybe that's why Morrissey is saying it's diabolical. You know, maybe it is, but it is, you know, part of, you know, just history now. And so I got a copy of it. But yeah, there's the starving kids, you know, feel bad, you know, buy the album, you know, it's kind of shaming you, guilting you, you know, kind of thing. But that's where I am now with this album, or this song. It's not one of my favorite Christmas songs per se, Christmas. I will probably do some Christmas stuff soon, but rock albums that have Christmas themes on it, you know, or Christmas songs by rock artists, and something like this. But yes, this did happen on this day. It was recorded in 1984, and forever, you know, part of history. And so leave me a comment below. What are your thoughts on this song? Do you think it is a self-righteous kind of like preachy kind of thing, and like the world is fear and gloom and doom, and it's like, I don't know. It was just kind of tacky later on as I was older listening to it. But that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything in the the large scale of things, the scheme of things. So just, yeah, leave me a comment. I want to hear from what you guys have to think about Band-Aid, and I'll shut up and I'll see you guys in the next video.